Welcome to Rise of the Wisdom, where timeless truth meets your present journey. If you are here, it is not by accident. Your spirit was led to this place for a reason. Every word you will hear carries light, strength, and direction for your path. Stay with us, and let this message unlock the wisdom waiting inside you. Every time you give, you break the spirit of lack. A $50 seed into holy voices is declaring abundance over your life. You have been selected, and your intelligence is developed into something so incredibly keen that opposing forces are frantically attempting to figure out what you have become. Additionally, since you have surpassed their entire game, the revenge fantasy that has been brewing in their imaginations will never come to pass. Now, your mind is an impregnable stronghold that transforms every plot against you into motivation for your relentless rise. For months, the cosmic court has been working on a case they never anticipated. Like storm clouds on a horizon they won't accept, evidence has been piling up. Every rumored plot, every calculated treachery, every attempt to destroy your foundation has been documented in ledgers kept by powers they cannot understand. You've started to see what they wrote off as coincidence as orchestration. You now recognize what they called luck as supernatural intervention disguised as happenstance. Your adversaries have been acting with the deadly presumption that you are engaged in the same activity, vying for the same limited resources, and looking to the same tainted sources for approval. You have been learning how to alter the very fabric of reality itself, as these forces move pieces on a chessboard. Their tactics work on those who are stuck in a state of scarcity consciousness, but you have been able to reach abundant frequencies that make manipulation techniques not only useless but also ludicrously archaic. Some people have been preoccupied with deciphering your code for years and years. The destructive obsession that keeps them scrolling through your life at 3 in the morning, searching for hidden meanings in your posts, and gathering information they think will somehow give them the advantage, rather than the healthy intrigue that comes with appreciating someone's achievement. Advantage they sorely require. Opposition forces have forged coalitions based only on a mutual inability to comprehend how you keep rising in spite of coordinated attempts to bring you down. You were doing more than simply avoiding their attacks. They had been forging you. Every betrayal that ought to have crushed your soul instead made you more perceptive. You learned to live from faith rather than fear as a result of every financial setback that should have made you desperate. Every familial problem that ought to have undermined your ability to love instead helped you define your limits and broaden your empathy for people who are still caught in harmful habits. They have never experienced the concepts that underpin the protection mechanism that has been triggered around your life. The vibrations of your intuition have been enhanced to enable you to sense their intents before they have completely developed in their own thoughts. In your presence, lying is literally impossible due to the sophistication of your energy field. The intensity of your elevated consciousness causes lies to fall apart, manipulation techniques to fail, and hidden intentions to become as clear as glass. You have been cultivating abilities that are below perception levels while adversary forces have been observing your surface maneuvers. Your intelligence has grown beyond what they can monitor or predict. Your emotional intelligence has reached unimaginable heights. They are hurling stones at stars and straining themselves in pointless gestures against forces they are ill-equipped to assess because your spiritual awareness has risen to a level where their attacks cannot reach you. The clandestine operations planned against you. The evidence against you is going to overwhelm any attempts to portray you as dishonest, over the top, or too wonderful to be true. You've always been a true force that operates from natural magnetism rather than manufactured charisma, and people who matter, those with genuine power and influence, are starting to see that. It's getting harder to ignore the difference between their fake presentations and your genuine brilliance. Your financial circumstances are changing in ways that will make them reevaluate all they believe to be true about the universe's money flow. With miraculous accuracy, resources are searching for you and coming through avenues they could not have foreseen or avoided. Opportunities that appear to be blocked by impractical conditions are now opening up in response to your presence, much like automated doors. The abundant consciousness you have been cultivating is starting to take on concrete forms that will provide indisputable evidence of the concepts they have been disparaging. However, nothing you do will deal the most severe blow to well-planned efforts against you. It is manifesting itself in the actions of the opposing forces. The preoccupation that led to continual surveillance of your every action has turned into an unbreakable prison. They've put so much effort into researching you that they have ignored their own growth, which is causing holes in their armor to start showing. They have failed in their attempts to emulate your methods, style, and spirit. Wearing masks that come off more often as the strain of upholding fake identities wears them down. Their restless need for instant satisfaction is subordinated to the timetables on which the cosmic justice system functions. The cosmos has been creating repercussions commensurate with the severity of their deeds, while they have been seeking immediate karma. You are surrounded by more than just protective protection. It's actively redistributive, converting the energy they've used against you into energy that will help you rise. Your healing has come from their enmity. Your delight has replaced their jealousy. Alchemical reactions have transformed their curses into your blessings. They are not spiritually sophisticated enough to comprehend. There is a fresh authority in your voice that cannot be disputed or disregarded. There is an undercurrent of authority that demands respect when you talk at this time. Through the obvious presence of someone who has asserted their proper position in the cosmic hierarchy, rather than by coercion or force. People start listening to you in ways that even surprise you, asking for your thoughts with a newfound respect, and seeing the wisdom in things that they might have missed before your metamorphosis was complete. Even you will be shocked by the force with which the creative powers that have been growing behind closed doors are ready to burst into the open. Overly ambitious projects are finishing themselves with extraordinary ease. Working together with folks you've always respected is becoming more of a natural evolution than a pipe dream. Not only is your creative output increasing in volume, but it is also becoming prophetic, influencing people's lives and altering viewpoints in ways that validate your function as a messenger of enlightenment. Your spiritual development is being accompanied by physical change in ways that appear to go against the general perception of how stress and age normally impact look. The glow that appears when someone finally assumes their true power is what is making you more radiant, not last-ditch efforts or costly interventions. Although they are unable to pinpoint the precise change, others are making comments about your energy, presence, and very essence, and they know deep down that you have evolved into something greater than you were before. Your current romantic relationships function on entirely different frequencies than those of previous partnerships. You're drawing relationships that increase your power rather than diminish it, rather than causing drama and emotional turmoil. The universe is now offering connections that complement your energy and support your mission, rather than competing with it, after it has finished sending you lessons disguised as lovers. These new connections are evidence that the dysfunctional patterns that once drew dysfunction into your personal life have been resolved. Either by improving your existing position or moving to a new area that better fits your changing consciousness, your living condition is improving to reflect your enhanced status. Once stifling spaces are becoming more open. Places that were once inaccessible are now within reach. The right time is allowing arrangements to emerge that promote your best good. Your internal transformation is causing your exterior environment to reorganize as well, bringing your inner state and external circumstances into harmony. As if by magic, career choices that appeared to be restricted by impractical restrictions are now suddenly becoming available. The abilities you've been honing in anonymity are in great demand. Relationships you formed years ago are paying off in unexpected ways. Previously seemingly near industries are now actively vying for your participation. The professional recognition you've been aiming for is coming as a result of your prior preparation, not as a reward for future efforts. When your new energy either changes poisonous habits or establishes boundaries so distinct that dysfunction can no longer affect you, the family relationships that have been causes of suffering are drastically changing. Family members that have caused turmoil are either changing their ways or avoiding you altogether. Your intentional transformation has the capacity to dissolve generational habits that seemed insurmountable. Your personal development is elevating your family line in ways that will help future generations. The most significant shift, though, may be taking place in your connection with yourself. The harsh inner critic who formerly plagued you with doubts has given way to an inner knowing that is so powerful that neither the opinions of others nor the outside world can shake it. You've shifted to an internal compass that directs you toward possibilities and away from circumstances that don't support your finest evolution, and you've stopped looking for approval from people who could never fully recognize your value. As your adversaries understand their window for harming you is permanently closed, their passion is growing into something that borders on terror. Even thinking bad things about you has uncomfortable repercussions in their own life because the safety surrounding you has grown so comprehensive. They're learning that the cosmic enforcement of your protection works quickly and unquestionably effectively, and that the cosmos takes personal offense to attacks against its chosen ones. Your ability to be happy and celebrate is growing along with your accomplishment. You now see that your delight has a higher purpose in the cosmic design, when previously you might have felt bad about getting excellent things or concerned about how other people would react to your enjoyment. You allow people to claim their own greatness by celebrating your own successes. You become a beacon that leads other chosen ones to their own awakening when you refuse to dull your light for the comfort of others. The days of concealing your greatness under a facade of modesty are over. You should not waste your activation by playing small or acting less than who you are because the universe put too much effort into your preparation. Every subscription is a yes to faith. Help us reach 40,000 by pressing subscribe, liking, and leaving your amen below. It's more than simply personal fulfillment when you fully realize your potential. It's a cosmic imperative, a necessary component of the larger scheme that relies on those who have been chosen to totally and unreservedly assume their positions. Your intelligence has advanced to the point where you can spot dishonesty with ease, forecast results with astonishing precision, and handle challenging circumstances with an almost supernatural ease. The cognitive skills you've acquired over the years of having to keep a few steps ahead of others who. The ability to wish you harm has developed into a strategic genius that makes it nearly impossible to outmaneuver you. Your mind has turned into a weapon they are unable to stop, a barrier they are unable to breach, and a labyrinth they are unable to negotiate. When you see others go to great lengths to duplicate something that cannot be made, borrowed, or stolen, the copying behavior that used to irritate you nearly becomes funny. Your unique brand of magnetism, your energy signature, and your essence all surface from depths they haven't yet ventured into. They can mimic your words, your style, and even your tactics, but they are unable to get to the source of your strength. Furthermore, their efforts only serve to emphasize the stark contrast between genuine genius and clinging imitation. Now that you have finally matched your genuine worth and quit putting up with circumstances that undervalued your contributions, financial abundance is coming your way, not by accident or coincidence. The cosmos detests emptiness. And resources start coming in from places you never could have imagined when you quit sacrificing your energy for nothing or accepting payment that belittles your worth. You don't only get money. It's looking for you, pulled by the pull of someone who at last recognizes their own value. To people who don't know how reality works, the spiritual support system that is activated around your existence might seem fanciful. Your mission is being strengthened by the ancestors who came before you on this journey. Your intuition is being used by guides who have been waiting for a lifetime to teach someone deserving of their guidance. Your case has been particularly allocated to forces that specialize in defending chosen ones, erecting an energetic fortress around your life that amplifies blessings and deflects negative. While you've been learning multidimensional chess from cosmic masters, your adversaries have been playing checkers. Their tactics work on those who are motivated by ego affirmation, scarcity, and fear. However, since you've surpassed those frequencies, their manipulation techniques are totally useless. They continue to apply the same strategy to someone who has outgrown the game they are attempting to play. And they are becoming increasingly desperate as they wonder why nothing works against them anymore. What you've been waiting for is finally coming to light, not in one spectacular moment, but rather as a gradual and growing realization. There is fresh proof of your actual place in this cosmic order every day. Former adversaries are starting to recognize that they have been up against someone much more experienced than they are. Friends from fair weather are realizing that they have been taking someone for granted whose companionship was a privilege they didn't merit. People who disregarded you are beginning to realize that they have been missing someone who is meant to be great. You're starting to realize that everything you've gone through was exactly what you needed to get ready for the amount of authority and responsibility you were always supposed to have as this metamorphosis reaches its climax. Every challenge built up the muscles that were needed. Each betrayal made important lines clear. Every setback made room for something far better to come into your life. Among us have always been the chosen ones. However, This age signifies their transition from preparation to activation. Your foes are unable to turn away as you assert that you have all you were destined to have because of the same obsession that motivated them to plot against you. Their efforts to extinguish your light have only served to highlight how irrepressible it is. The secret meeting of the cosmic court has rendered a decision, and natural law, not human intervention, is being used to carry out the sentence. There was never any doubt about your total and utter victory. Only divine timing was involved. You were being prepared by the cosmos that appeared to be testing you. In ways too complex for a limited mind to comprehend, the forces that seemed to be working against you were actually acting in your favor. With their odied recognition of your true nature, the story that started with people discounting your ability now inevitably comes to an end. Greetings from your chosen era. The final ruling has been issued by the cosmic court. Your transformation is complete, and your enemy's fixation has turned into their downfall. The cosmos has been anticipating. Nothing they ever did could have stopped this moment from happening, and your time has come. Their dreams of retaliation have upgraded your reality. Your healing has come from their enmity. And the fundamental basis of your unbreakable might now rests on their attempts to break you. They can no longer contain or classify your intelligence. Once able to anticipate your answers and control your reactions, they now have to contend with a mind that functions on a level they are ill-equipped to gauge. Every effort they made to outsmart you has honed your cognitive talents, resulting in a mental fortress that not only protects against their plans but also actively and precisely turns their own strategies against you. They are baffled by your sophisticated conversational style and are unable to discern your genuine intentions or thoughts. Your answers contain nuances of meaning they are unable to understand, allusions they are unable to follow, and ramifications that become clear only after you have advanced a few steps beyond their level of understanding. When they attempt to corner you using their typical strategies, they find that you have already foreseen their move and have prepared answers that both negate their advantage and reveal their true intentions. You've developed superhuman skills in pattern recognition, so you can identify their repurposed manipulation methods before they've used them all. Something that could have surprised you now seems to make sense to you like a child reading a book. You almost feel sad for their amateur attempts at psychological warfare because every step was so clearly telegraphed. They have revealed more about their own limitations than they ever planned to because they are desperate to figure out your new operating system. Their notion of human cognitive potential is incompatible with the way you now process information. They wonder if they ever truly knew you at all because of your ability to synthesize complex data, perceive connections across seemingly unrelated domains, and come to conclusions that turn out to be right with remarkable frequency. Someone working from intelligence frameworks they cannot access or duplicate has taken the position of the person they believed they were interacting with. Your emotional intelligence has advanced to the point that you can interpret facial expressions, vocal intonations, and patterns of behavior with the precision of a skilled interrogator. Now that you can easily decipher the subtext behind their remarks, their attempts at deceit look comically obvious. The motivation behind their ostensibly harmless inquiries and the anxiety that fuels their more desperate attempts to recover a psychological edge over you. Their constant expectations of vengeance and payback never come to pass in ways they can identify or protect against. Rather, your heightened awareness functions according to principles that render their entire notion of retaliation outmoded. Since you realize that their own behaviors are having more disastrous effects than anything you could purposefully plan, you've moved past the need for open confrontation. They are now shadow boxing with phantoms because you won't fight on their favorite battlefield, while you keep reaching new heights they can't. Because people are always attempting to use their own psychological frameworks to comprehend someone who has transcended their level of consciousness, their uncertainty regarding your objectives has reached a critical mass. Since they function from ego, fear, or wounded pride, they anticipate that you will react in the same way. However, your answers come from spiritual concepts they have never heard of. They are acting more and more erratically as a result of a feedback loop of irritation caused by their inability to anticipate your moves. They are at a tactical disadvantage because of your newfound capacity to stay both strategically aware of their activities and emotionally detached from their provocations. They are putting in a lot of effort against an opponent who has already moved past the conflict completely because they are fighting someone who will not be dragged into their favorite arena of chaos and drama. Their plans have suffered more from your composure in the face of their storms than from any forceful retaliation. Your knowledge base has grown exponentially as a result of the intellectual curiosity that now propels your study, leaving them constantly behind in their efforts to keep up with your progress. While they have been working to destroy you, you have been accumulating intellectual capital that grows every day, causing the gap between your cognitive powers and their static perception of the world to widen. They are convinced that you are either operating from intelligence networks they cannot access or accessing information they do not have because of your ability to synthesize information from various sources and arrive at conclusions that appear out of nowhere. Their worldview is much more threatened by the facts. You've acquired the ability to think beyond their whole conception of the workings of human cognition. Your current level of linguistic skill and communications contains implications and undertones that function on frequencies that are too high for them to pick up. Your comments accomplish several goals at once, benefiting you while neutralizing possible dangers in ways so subtle that they are unaware they have been outwitted until well after the talk has concluded. Your $100 gift through Super Thanks is not just support, it's prophecy. You are speaking into your own future harvest. Your verbal accuracy has evolved into a type of psychological aikido that refocuses their hostile energy to produce results that benefit you. The trauma they inflicted has improved your memory, allowing you to vividly recall every slight, lie, and instance of treachery they thought you would forget or forgive. You've turned these memories into a thorough database of human psychology that enables you to anticipate and respond to similar actions from others, rather than using them as a means of retaliation. Their efforts to deceive you into doubting your own memories have backfired magnificently, leaving a permanent record of their actual nature that cannot be altered or changed. You already know the game is rigged, don't you? You can tell the walls are closing in if you're listening. Let's discuss our current course of action. People want to be heard, held accountable, and given a fair hand when they live by the dictates of the market, when profit and property dominate the land. We also hear you. There are paywalls in the rise of the Wisdom Inner Order. Indeed. Those who support us and keep this quest going provide us with ammunition to battle the archons, resist the machine, delve deeper, and find more. As a token of appreciation, each week, premium members receive a 1-hour live, personalized group tarot reading, as well as direction, understanding, and clarity for the future. However, we cannot overlook kicking a man for lying on the ground. Because of this, you may start stealing the Astral Atom Unique Daily Newsletter for free right now. No catch, no paywall. Simply click the link in the description to sign up for the Patreon free tier. This marks the beginning of our bidirectional discourse with you. Any email we send you can be replied to. We'll read it. We'll listen to you. And we'll try our best to ask the universe itself for a response. We need your help, if you can. Take what's free if you can. The inner order of Rise of the Wisdom is open. Let's resume our work now. They are constantly off balance because of the way you now present information, never knowing what you know or when you might decide to use it. Your timing is now flawless. You reveal just enough information at the correct times to have the biggest impact while keeping the mystery intact so they are left wondering about the full scope of your awareness. One of your most effective tools now is strategic ambiguity, which lets you steer narratives without ever coming across as manipulative. You've honed your analytical skills to the point where you can dissect their arguments before they're complete, seeing hidden assumptions, emotional manipulations, and logical fallacies with the accuracy of a skilled debater. Now, when you quickly identify the fundamental problems they're attempting to hide and confront them with stunning clarity, their attempts to perplex or overwhelm you with intricate explanations fail. Your ability to think in multiple dimensions enables you to approach issues from perspectives that others are unable to see, coming up with ideas that, despite their apparent simplicity, are incredibly elegant. You now approach problems by combining spiritual, psychological, practical, and strategic components all at once, coming up with solutions that address not only the current problem but also the underlying patterns that caused it in the first place. Because of how well you've developed your intuition, you frequently know how their plans will turn out before they've ever completed them. There is nothing magical about this prophetic awareness. It is the outcome of identifying patterns. So sophisticated that, using only a few data points, you can startlingly accurately forecast human behavior. As they realize their psychological edge has totally vanished, their inability to surprise you has become a source of growing frustration. Their attacks on your character, motivations, or deservingness cannot erode the unshakable foundations provided by the intellectual framework you have built. Your comprehension of universal principles has provided you with points of reference that go beyond their reality based on opinions, rendering you impervious to the emotional manipulations that could have previously caused your sense of self to become unstable. Their statements just bounce off the armor of true self-awareness you developed by enduring their earlier attacks. Your research skills have grown to encompass not just the collection of data but also the analysis of patterns across settings and time periods that show historical precedent for their behavior. As someone who has studied this specific drama through several incarnations, you are confident in your ability to forecast their next movements since you have learned to identify the archetypal patterns they are unwittingly following. Your demonstration of your deep understanding of their psychological blueprint has disproved their belief that their technique is unique. Your innovative problem-solving skills transform every challenge they pose into a chance for creativity. Your brain now automatically comes up with several answers to any problem, enabling you to adjust to shifting conditions with such ease that they can't keep up with your counterattacks. Your dynamic approach to handling difficult issues is superior to their static thinking. You can interact with people on a superficial level while also digesting deeper levels of meaning and formulating long-term plans they won't notice because of your capacity to compartmentalize information. You've perfected the ability to function on several levels of consciousness at once, keeping up cordial exchanges while your deeper awareness monitors their actual motivations and formulates suitable answers. You now have predictive abilities that seem almost magical to others who don't comprehend the algorithms you've internalized because of the mathematical accuracy with which you compute social dynamics. You can handle group dynamics with the assurance of someone who has already done the math and is fully aware of how each situation will play out because you can predict the social repercussions of different acts. You have developed psychological fortitude from flames they started but are unable to endure. Your ability to withstand their persistent campaign against your sanity has given you an indestructible core that will not be broken by any more psychological warfare attempts. They built someone who is resistant to their most advanced manipulation techniques because they believed that repeated attacks would finally break you. You've created energetic boundaries that work so precisely that you may let. They automatically filter out the harmful energy they try to send while allowing positive effects to reach you. They are forced to fight against barriers they cannot see or comprehend because your auric field has gotten so strong that their negativity cannot enter your area. Simply said, their anger is no longer able to reach you, which magnifies their own pain while ignoring you. Your communication style has changed over time to incorporate several levels of meaning that reward in-depth comprehension while yet being open to superficial interpretation. This enables you to appease many audiences at once, forming partnerships with people who can value your sophistication and averting confrontation with those who function at a more basic level. You can now handle difficult social situations without making needless enemies thanks to your advanced diplomatic abilities. Ironically, your established intellectual humility increases the force of your intelligence since, rather than defending set beliefs, you are always learning and improving your knowledge. Your readiness to change the way you think keeps you one step ahead of rivals who don't change their perspectives, resulting in a growing disparity between your ability to adapt and their inflexible reactions to shifting conditions. Your capacity to combine modern knowledge with age-old wisdom has produced a hybrid mind that pulls from uncharted sources. Your reading comprehension crosses disciplines they haven't studied, forming linkages between domains that lead to discoveries they can't predict or refute. Your comprehensive grasp of the interactions and influences of various systems is superior to their particular knowledge. With your elevation and their passion, the circle concludes where it started, but now changed into something they never anticipated by the alchemical process of divine justice. Your unquestionable and total control over all forces that have ever attempted to thwart your inevitable rise to power. Their efforts to understand you have turned into the precise thing that will bring them to ruin. Although your refusal to seek retribution has turned into the most devastating triumph of. If this message touched your heart, don't leave without spreading the light. Click like so this wisdom can reach more souls searching for truth. Subscribe to Rise of the Wisdom so you never miss the next divine word prepared for you. And write your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters here. Until next time, keep walking in faith, keep growing in wisdom, and remember, the journey of the wise never ends.